Hi, folks. Hope you had a great week. I did. As a mason, being a carpenter is a little bit of a trip. But we took on a carpentry role and worked with some beautiful people and got the job done. So, one of the lessons of being a mason is, you can be other things too. You can be whatever you want. Try it out. Thought we'd open up with a quick verse today. We are in Luke. I'm going to say Luke 6. Love your enemies. You guys can read that for yourself. Check it out. It's great. But, I'm a quick read. Judge not, and you will not be judged. Just keep it simple, right? Okay, work with that. Got a couple questions about the pillars. I did my homework. Realized straight away that's my pillar. I made an error. Big time. But I learned a lot making an error. You guys see, when you have error, you have somewhere where you can go and fix it. So lesson learned. I have Mercury over on the moon pillar. So I'd say when I was born, I'm a bit of a sun pillar and a bit of the middle pillar. And I got my voice and Mercury being kind of communication and all that in water. However, that's when I was born. I can change this up and make it to look whatever I want it to look like. Most of this knowledge is not going to make sense to people. But it's one way to help prove other people's points. We're not here to break down and shatter realities. We're here to comfort those that realities have shattered. And it's so simple to call it a testimony. This is how I learned it. If you learned it another way, fucking awesome. Perfect. That's the way it should be. We have to really pay attention to each other because some of the weirdest people I've ever met in my life have taught me the most amazing lessons. So here they are. Run this by you guys. They hate that we love them. Go around them with kindness. Don't go through them. You don't have to shatter somebody down and take somebody out to prove your point. Because your point only proves to yourself what your point is. So, have we created these enemies to help the purification process? Did we manifest enemies in order to make ourselves better? The Bible teaches us to love your enemies. So if you love your enemies, how could you have an enemy? Right? Just saying. Something to think about, right? It's like, love your enemy. Well, if I love my enemy, I don't have any. Eureka. I had a little bit of outburst the other day and rectified it immediately. And feeling a lot better about the situation because I did. But I did let out some bad energy and I fell into a trap. Thank God I had some friends around me to hold me up. So it goes to show we need each other, guys. We have to do it alone, but we don't have to feel alone. Because we're all going through this on our own pace, and nobody knows anything more than anybody else. I'll do a bit of a rant about tools. Tools in the trade. Every tool is best kept in a holster when you're working, because you can always put it back. You pull it out, use it, put it back. Especially if you're up on a ladder or it's best to put your tools where you always know you can use them. And the tools aren't the weapons, it's where you keep the weapon and how you use it. Most weapons are best kept holstered. But when you're building something, very rarely do your tools stay in those holsters if you're doing a good fucking job. This one over here is an aid for shooting an arrow. It's what you need to get the job done. You see the duality here? There's a place to put your tools when they're not being used, and there's a place to use them. And if you use your tools wrong, you end up picking a side and blaming somebody else for what you did. Don't be a tool. Learn how to use them. Learn how to use them on a Sunday when it's Father's Day and you're not working. Put your tools away and relax and enjoy your life. But when you pull that tool out, know where it is on your body and use it. The tool's there for you to help you get a job done. Anyways, if this video is okay after I have a look at it, I'm going to send you a video of the shop that we manifested together. And really what struck me this week is, again, is it possible to infest? I think the lesson is we have to figure out how to do this before we go into the next stage. I think we have to figure out how to do this, and I think it'll come naturally. But right now we should practice. Whatever you're manifesting for yourself, make sure that what you're manifesting benefits others. If what you're manifesting doesn't help somebody else, the fruits are not worth selling at the market. So let's spend the next 6 months together observing where fruit comes from that can feed you and where fruit goes when it leaves you. Pick your fruit and pick the best fruit. Pick the best one and save it for somebody else. Okay? I'm learning that karma, for me, I don't make a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money. But when somebody helps me out, it gives me an opportunity to help somebody else out. And that's how karma works. So let's co-manifest. You know, that means us in festivity. Let's do this with a smile. And sit back and watch the show and enjoy it. Think about the things you want to manifest. Don't think about the things you can't, or it won't work. For me, I'm talking to myself right now, guys. Anyways, this bud is for me, and this bud is for whoever likes that comes to visit sometime. Anyways, it takes 2 buds. So these buds are for everybody. Peace out. Love all directions.